Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's made me the way I am. So.
Yeah, definitely. I've noticed with Nottingham Wildcats, this was very, I won't say touchy something, very emotional one, I reckon. Noticed there was a woman you had called Pauline who was associated with the club.
That's my mummy.
Oh, that was your mummy? Oh, right. So Pauline was your mum. Oh, so
yeah.
To the rest of the players and how influential she was to the club.
Oh God. I mean, she was just sort of like the heart and soul of the club. I think the thing that was really nice for her, and I think for the other players, was she was very separate from any of like the backroom stuff. So she didn't get involved with, any of like that was all dad. So everything gets blamed on dad. But yeah, so she was sort of always like the mum that looked after everybody and talked to everyone and made sure everybody was all right. And she also coached our mini ballers. So the little ones from age like 5 all the way through to 11, and then she passed them through to 12, and then passed them through to the under 14. So she's seen a lot of our players go all the way through, like from being like little all the way through to if they leave for the States or whatever they do. Yeah, so she was kind of like the heart of the club, really.
Okay. And then the impact on everyone else, I guess it made a huge impact because, it was all over your socials. I did see that, so,
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I remember in a cynical way, kind of, when, how at the top of your Instagram you can see who's, like, checked out your profile?
Yes.
It was, like, the highest it had ever been, like, in my life, like, by 10 times as many. But, yeah, no, it was nice because it just showed, not even just on our team, but, she'd been like a GB team manager and how she like touched other people as well, like in other clubs. And I'm very much like, if you're not on my team and you're not in my club, you got no time. Like, whereas, she sort of...
yourself again. One child syndrome.
When I stop playing, it'll change. But, and it has started to change and as I've got older, but she was very much, just the same person with everybody. Like, so I think everyone sort of saw that special side of her.
That is very traumatic sometimes and very heartbreaking when you lose someone like that in the sport. It's like, it's the same feeling to us as well when Brixton, because I'm associated with Brixton from young. When he passed, and that hit everyone home. That hit home to everyone very hard. So
yeah, it will.
When Jimmy passed, but his funeral, I remember that there was, put it this way, every seat was packed, and there was at least hundreds of people standing up. Like, that's how important this guy was. Like, everyone stood up. Yeah. I'd finished a night shift, bearing in mind, and I came from my night shift straight to the funeral. So
yeah, and it's testament to them, isn't it? But it's more because of how the impact, you're right, but like how they changed the game as well on a national scale. So the different, lights that they shine in whatever area they have on the game in a new way and make people think about the game in different ways.
I think as well, the life lessons I learned, they taught us as well. It made a lot, everything he was teaching us, it made a lot of sense now. Going to now get older now, kind of understand what he was teaching us. So use those skills. Never give up. That's only one of the main things I took in from it. So don't give up.
And it's always the ones that are like hard. Like Mum was like a hard ass too. Like with the play with her, like even with the little ones, Yeah. And at the time, you're like, oh my God, like leave me alone. But then, like when you get older, you're so grateful for it that someone was that hard ass with you and that wanted to do that and didn't just need to be like your best friend and.
Definitely. So, talking on another note, the experience of winning a silver medal, Commonwealth Games. Talk us through that experience, the emotions going through your mind, your body, everything? Like, how was that for you?
Yeah, it feels like it never happened now in a way. It feels like a surreal sort of thing that happened to somebody else.
You were thinking, I did dream this, innit?
Exactly, like, but the whole thing was strange because I hadn't played for the GB senior team, like as a senior, at all. So until I was, what would I have been, like 29, 30, I think it was. So as soon as I got into that GB senior team, I was actually still teaching at school and I was playing WBBL but wasn't professional. So I just quit my job and decided that I was going to go back to playing full time. To try and make the most of the opportunity that I was given, like with the GB stuff. And then along came like the Commonwealth Games stuff, which I'd never really even thought about. And then it started to become this like tangible thing that I could actually achieve. So then it was probably for that year was the first year where instead of having like Wildcats in the forefront of my head, I had a different like goal aside of that. So a lot of my like the way it was planned for me, like by my physios and people at the Spine Nottingham Hospital that I worked with, like my phase training plans were sort of about the Commonwealth Games rather than about like the season, because the Commonwealth Games came in like the middle of the season, right? It was It was really random. So yeah, it was weird in that sense because like your whole training regime was off in a way. But then being there but getting the phone call or the email, because we got it on email, that was like the most insane thing. So it was like
Nicola was like, waiting 12 o'clock
all night. I'm like, oh, like shit, like I've not I've not made this team. It was awful, like, because you were like, it's this day. You kept checking the calendar, like, it is this day, right? They are gonna, like, I've just missed
the whole day. They waited for the whole ride. At the end of the day, go, oh yeah, I've got the team. Like,
yeah, and I was literally in bed,
I reckon they had the team selected and someone didn't do their job properly or something. Oh my God, I meant to email.
Yeah, right. Forgot to press send. Oh my God.
Forgot to press send or something. My bad. Oh,
yeah, like the rest of us, like our lives are hanging in the balance.
Oh man.
Yeah. So no, it was. So that bit was quite stressful. But yeah, when we got the emails through, it was amazing. And then that was it. From then on, it was just sort of this like whirlwind. We had to go and get all of our kit at this place where all of the athletes went, and you had to try everything on. You know, pictures, like media.
Full of that.
Yeah, it just became like this massive thing, and then Then you get on the plane, right, to go to Australia, which is crazy in itself because we had all of these rules about that you have to get up and stand and walk around for every couple of hours so that you didn't get jet lag. I had things on my eyes to help me go to sleep. I had like them socks on, that like grannies wear on the flight to stop you from like swelling, your calves swelling. Like it just all became like super real. And then the whole tournament was amazing. But that moment of like standing on the podium, you can't even explain it. I still remember the music. I can hear it. I remember the smells, the sights. Like it's all so like real still. But it's just so hard to explain.
Congratulations on that one. So I'm guessing that was like one of your most gratifying moments in terms of that silver medal. Yeah,
that was because it's actually as well one of the most teams I'd ever had fun on as well. It was a great team. Like I really enjoyed it. Like got along with everybody. Everyone was for everybody else. There was no other people got on well with each other, but it didn't. No one left anybody out. Everyone. It was just brilliant. Like the whole experience was amazing. And then I say the most gratifying moment was when we won our first WBBL championship. So I'd say they're like side by side.
I was gonna get into that. So you got 2 titles with that franchise, right? I believe you had one in 2000 and I got it written down. Not 16. I got it wrong now. But you had two.
I don't know either. Is it 2015 and 16? Was it back to back? I think.
Maybe you had 1 and 2. You had, I think, back to back. I know you had 1 in 2007, 2018, the BBL Championship. Yeah.
That was the cup. Yeah. We had that.
WBBL Championship in 2016, 17.
Yeah.
And BBL Cup in 2018. Yeah. So
yeah.
16.
Okay.
So winning those two, I was winning it. How did it feel winning that back to back? Like emotions, talk us through that whole journey and all that whole progress.
Yeah. So the championship ones are different, right? Because it's a bit of an anticlimax at the end because you go through like the whole season, and it's really just done on wins and losses. So we won it in the first one at Northumbria away. So you're not at home or anything. You don't have any home crowd. And if you win this game, no one else can catch you, and that's it. You're going to win the championship. So I think the championships are what I'm most proud of because I think it shows the team that's most consistent throughout the season. But it doesn't feel the same as the cup win because you're in a big arena. And it's like a one or done game. Like you win the cup, you lose, you lose. So the feelings aren't the same, yeah.
So you reckon the winning the championship was a bit more gratifying, a lot more challenging as opposed to the cup?
Yeah, because you go through long seasons of ups and downs and different things that you have to deal with personally as a team, and I think that it's way more gratifying like at the end because you know that you've sort of everyone's come over those things and you've won at the end of it. And I think the first one as well, because the history of the club, I'd always watch Mum play in finals and they were always second. So in the 80s, they were second to Northampton, always. And in the 90s, they were always second to Sheffield. So, yeah, for me, it was just that very first one. It wasn't just like a season's worth of gratification. It was like 40 years worth of, hard work. So
yeah, eventually got it.
Yeah.
Was that with what's the name on the team? You're one of your stars, Joyner.
She was in the. No, she hasn't been on any of them yet.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So actually, Nana, who's just joined to watch us, she was in one of the title-winning teams. Yeah, so no, Jazz, that's our aim next year. She's not won a title yet with us.
Wow. She deserves it in a way because from what I've seen, the statistics, the stories I've heard, I had Ellie Shackson on from Essex Rebels.
Essex, yeah.
She said, oh, guarding her was like a nightmare.
Yeah. I don't have to do it, so I'm fine.
I was like, yeah. She said, oh my God. She said, I said, what do you mean? Sound like she said she's got too many moves. She's got one move for this and one move for counters.
Yeah.
Sounds like a female Hakeem Olajuwon.
You know what? She's just relentless. I think if I was playing against her, we get into it in practice. We'll talk about this later, but I love playing with Jazz because she will fight. She's a fighter and it's great to be around. But I guess if you're on the other team and you're playing against her, she's never not going to go for a rebound. So sometimes you miss a box out and you're like, oh crap, I've missed that box out. Well, you know that if you miss a box out on her, she's gonna get the ball. It's annoying. She don't stop.
Chill out. Just chill out, man.
Give me a break.
Oh my gosh.
Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris.